Hey everybody, I have a few questions for you. Have you suffered from edema? Have you ever thought you had thyroid issues? Do you frequently urinate, especially at night? Have you ever suffered from premature graying or hair loss? Have you ever had high blood pressure? Have you ever had hearing problems or had dark circles under your eyes? Do you have sore back or weak ankles or legs? Have you ever had bone or teeth issues? Well, if you answered yes to any of those, you may actually have a kidney issue. So I want to tell you a little bit about what your kidneys do for you. Firstly, they help remove waste and extra fluids. Your kidneys are filtering about 200 quarts of blood for you a day, which ends up making about 1 to 2 quarts of urine for you. And this prevents the buildup of any kind of waste or fluid and helps to keep your body healthy. And your kidneys also help control pressure. So your kidneys need pressure to work properly. And when they're not able to work properly, that's when you'll see a little bit of either high blood pressure or low blood pressure. Your kidneys also contribute to making red blood cells. They are going to make this red blood cell and carry oxygen from the lungs to supply the body so you have energy all throughout your body for daily activities. They are also going to keep your bones healthy. Your kidneys make an active form of vitamin D for you, and you need vitamin D to help the calcium and the phosphorus absorb into your bones. And that's very important for anybody who's had osteoporosis or osteopenia or even broken bones for that matter. And then they also help control your pH levels. So, pH is a measure of the acid or base in the body, and your kidneys are going to balance this depending on how well they are flushed and how much water is coming in and what they're able to utilize from the water that you are bringing in. So when I talk about the kidneys, I have to talk about traditional Chinese medicine. And when you talk traditional Chinese medicine, there's always a yin and a yang. And the kidneys have another organ that works with them, and that's the bladder. So those are always kind of working in tandem depending on what your body is either in balance or out of balance. And when we say kidneys, anxiety and fear are two emotions that are associated with the kidneys. So for people who tend to be more fearful and anxious, they tend to have to frequently urinate more because there is an excess push on the kidneys. So also eating too much salt can result in, absorbing or holding on to too much water, which is more pressure on the kidneys. And sometimes people aren't drinking enough water. And that's also really important because if we don't drink enough water, we're not going to be able to flush these kidneys in the correct way. We also look at the bones once again when we talk about the kidney aspect. So those who have broken a bone or dealt with any kind of osteoporosis, we know we need to work on the kidneys because the kidneys are what helps the calcium and magnesium to absorb so that it's going to get into the bones versus staying in your bloodstream or urinating it out or creating kidney stones. And we're also looking at your ears. So for people who've suffered from tinnitus or hearing loss, we look at the kidneys being able to bring more energy to those ears so that you can hear better. And we also see accelerated aging and kidney issues coinciding. So those people who seem to age faster than others, we want to make sure that their kidneys are absorbing the water that's coming in and that they are drinking enough water. But the kidneys in the end are really most damaged by stress. So if you are someone who seems to suffer from any of these symptoms that I've talked about, we really want to make sure that you're dealing with stress well. You should be exercising on a regular basis, even making sure you can have time to meditate. Meditating is very important, okay? We also want to talk about resolving situations in your life that have caused anxiety or fear with you. By helping to resolve these situations, anytime they may come up again, such as a divorce or a loss of a loved one, you won't have such a response and have so much pressure put on your kidneys. Some of the favorite products that I like to talk about are some Chinese formulas that we work with in this office. So if you're someone who suffers from muscle cramps, edema, pain or stiffness in your hands or in your feet, even cramping in your hands or feet, I love to use Kidney Activator. So Kidney Activator will help so that those issues can go away, and so that you're not retaining too much fluid, all right? So when you're retaining too much fluid, you know, you get that little puffy aspect about you. One of my next favorites is called KBC. Now, I like KBC a little bit more because it deals with incontinence. It helps with some of our higher blood pressure issues, backache, respiratory issues, insomnia, even dizziness. And this will help a little bit more of the ear issues. But KBC, we call it chiropractor in a bottle. And we say that for a reason because whenever we're dealing with issues with pain, we always want to work with the kidneys. So if you remember that your kidneys have this water, and so they put this fluid around your spine. Having this fluid around your spine means that you're going to get a chiropractic adjustment and it's going to help it stay. So if you know anyone who's gone to the chiropractor and goes, I really don't feel like this is helping, this is a great product for them. So if we're keeping the fluid around your spine, when you have all these issues, there won't be any compression next to each other because you have this fluid that's able to keep everything more in balance. And that's super, super important, okay? And then my last favorite product, because we talk about chronic stress when we talk about the kidneys, and chronic stress depletes your potassium stores. So potassium is really important with helping your copability in handling stress. So Mineral Chi, and Chi means balance, is one of my absolute favorites for people who are really stressed out and really need some help when it comes to coping, their adrenal fatigue. And that's kind of what our joke is with Mineral Chi, is that Mineral Chi will bring people back from the dead. And it does that because it's helping with stress, it helps with blood pressure, it helps to give you a better pH, it prevents some of these kidney stone issues. But what Mineral Chi does, and it says it even right here, it balances all 12 acupuncture meridians. So if you ever had acupuncture done, what they're doing is they're putting these needles in your body wherever they need to bring energy to heal you, okay? So what happens is when we're bringing that energy to heal that area, now it's gonna start feeling better. Well, what this Mineral Chi can do is it can bring energy to the spots in your body that need to be repaired, and it does that very quickly. So it's an amazing product to try if you know that you have stress, chronic fatigue, a lot of adrenal issues, you're tired, and it helps to balance the kidneys out at the same time. So I hope you found some entertaining and educational ways to work on your kidneys. And I hope that this can help someone in your life, whether they're dealing with edema or high blood pressure. And you know, you can always contact me for more information. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks so much.